Meoni here, and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV. This time we're looking at a special site update for patch 6.25 that releases on the 18th of October. We're going to be looking now at new updates to the 6.2 special site that they've added today, the 13th of October, and you'll notice that the new sections are highlighted by green blobs on this side menu. Information obviously on here is probably not complete, and I'm sure there's lots of other stuff in the patch that's probably not listed here. So let's look at this stuff then. So the first thing that they've updated is the challenges section, and the first challenge obviously is going to be the new battle content, the variant dungeons. And this one we get the Sildine Subterrane. There are 3 images in particular which we should look at, but it says a request from a certain someone in Ul'dah has you packing your adventuring gear and descending once more into the underground waterways of Sildine. Wow, I'm really bad at pronunciation, but you already knew that. First image then is obviously deep underground. You can see the ground above and this pipe. This should be somewhat familiar to people who have done the main scenario of the early Realm Reborn stages, simply because that is leading off due to a certain scene underground Ul'dah. If you remember that section where we're escaping through a certain area, that's basically what this is. These are like underground ruins under Ul'dah. Very exciting stuff, probably filled with lore. Speaking of which, this is the second image. We've already seen this on a few of the other promotional images. We can see here all sorts of the tribal stuff probably that's been erected in here. Remember, the beast tribes previously were building caverns and things. And then is this section. Now this is the most interesting because on here we've got the UI that's going to be used for variant dungeons and Criterion dungeons. Variant dungeons, as you probably already know, are kind of like your storyline mode, basically, and have entries of information. And Criterion have normal, hard, and savage difficulty. They're 4-player savage option as well, which has less storyline and more like limitations. For example, the longer it takes for you to clear things, the harder the enemies become, and things like that. There is all sorts of limitations that they'll talk about, I'm sure, in a big post or in the game with tooltips. So as we can see here, they're queuing for variant dungeons as a monk. We can see that this is to do with Nanamo. We see that there is 1 segment filled out of all of those segments, and as you can see over here, this is 1 entry out of 12. Depending on which way you go inside the variant dungeon, because it has variable ways to go, there's lots of paths, and from those paths, different ways, you get more information and storyline. So this is a great source of lore, and I cannot wait to get stuck in this and read through this myself. So obviously multiple playthroughs means unlocking all this. If you unlock all 12 of these, you actually get a mount. So that's going to be very exciting, very exciting. You'll also see you get 40 astronomy and 25 of the new currency, 90 minutes in a Sildine Subterrane, and there's the variant actions, which is basically like the Logos actions or any of the Eureka style stuff you've done before. They've got obviously a heal and a shield, I believe that is, so they can heal and tank because they're going in as a monk, which fulfills the role requirements without needing the other roles. So there we go. Very cool stuff. I'm very excited for this stuff. I'll probably be doing the savage stuff with some friends. And obviously we've got a bit on the Criterion dungeon. This creature here is actually, not only is this a boss in Criterion, this is the mount that you can get for doing those 12 there. Basically, there is a separate mount for Savage, which we'll get to in just a second. And it says, whereas variant dungeons are casual, story-based experiences which can be completed by solo players, Criterion dungeons will challenge a party of 4 adventurers with battles of punishing difficulty. Criterion dungeons are available in 2 difficulty levels and impose unique rules and restrictions, such as limiting character resurrections. Assemble a band of trustworthy comrades to overcome every obstacle and explore every corner of the Subterrane. So as we can see here in this picture, we have one of the bosses here. The thing about Savage as well is some of the stuff isn't going to be telegraphed, they told us. As you can see, there's all sorts of mechanics going on here. We've got mechanics from Fafnir here. We've got mechanics from yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to learn those bosses. The second image then, this is the reward you get for doing Savage. That's what you get. This is basically the throne of Azem by the looks of it. And the reason I'm guessing that is because there's grapes on the side of it in gilt. But how cool is that? That has to be like something to do with your character. I don't know. It's epic, isn't it? It is another flying chair, but that is absolutely epic. I love the gold and the purple. It is godly. It really is. So even more reason for you to do your Savage 4-player stuff. I cannot wait for that. And then the other thing that's been updated, if we scroll down, is the Omicron tribal quests. Obviously, they've got a new image here. It says the recently established last dregs may yet lack much one expects of a cafe, a recognizable logogram, little jars of creamer, patrons, but Omicron N7000 and not Omicron jamming way persevere. These unlikely partners in coffee are determined to brew fresh hope until Ultima Thule brimmeth over. Of course, we've seen a couple of these images before. This one is fairly new. I'm not sure if you've seen this one, so I'll show you, which is really nice. We've got these little weird creaturey things in this like pen. I don't know. It's all very out of this world deliberately. This is a new image though. We've only seen this before on the live letter. In a preview, Yoshi P showed us him going inside of a jellyfish. So if you do the new tribal quests in 6.25 to completion, your final rank, or whatever it might be to unlock those, you'll be able to exchange currency for this new mount. It shrinks you down, believe it or not. This isn't just a small Lalafell, this is a shrunk down Lalafell to fit inside a space jellyfish. And as you can see, these are the effects that it does as you fly. So it's glowing and little sparkles coming off. I think this is one of the nicest looking mounts in a long time that I've seen them add. So that's a must have as well. Like the tribal quests are going to be great. And let's see, is there anything else they added to this section? I believe they did. Here we go. Brand new emote. We've got Lalafells demonstrating this. It's sort of like a, oh, like that kind of like excited enthusiasm. Not sure where that's going to be from, obviously, at this point, but there's little sparkle effects coming off of it. It's probably a persistent emote, but I like that. That's like the excited sort of anime type character reaction. I want that really badly. So that's really nice. So yet again, another thing. And the media section pretty much is just going to be filled with the images if you want them in a bigger sort of, size. The things I'm looking forward to most then, definitely the Sildine Subterrane, but mostly Criterion. I think that most people are looking forward to Savage, especially now there's a mount as a reward. That's exciting stuff. The Beast Tribe stuff's going to be really cool. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really nice patch. Obviously not featured in this is anything to do with the new relic weapons, Hildebrand storyline, and probably a bunch of other stuff as well. But very excited, almost as excited as this image, in fact. All right, let me know what you're excited for most. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be very excited as we come up closer to the 18th. Remember, on the 19th of October, we also have the second Halloween event of the year, which has a glamour and an emote and a housing item, so that even more stuff to cram into your schedule. Definitely a good time to come back to the game if you haven't already. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.